Hello, hello, hello. Almost said, fellow crows, thanks for joining us.
We are the
I
crows.
know, right? I don't know why. I was reading the other comment and they were like, who's that said that? Papa, let's put it up. Papa Zio said, I didn't know you guys watch Silo. You are my from connect. Yeah, man. We everywhere in these streets, man. You didn't know? You didn't know?
We deep in the down deep.
And look who we didn't drag to watch Silo with us. Say
Another
what's up
fellow
to him,
crow.
Margot.
What's up? What's up?
Look, when From ended, we was like, Margot, we got to start watching some other stuff. Earth to Buy. So she's watching Earth to Buy. And how long did it take you to catch up? Because you hadn't watched Silo before. How long did it take you to like binge to catch up?
2 days.
2
And
days.
that's because I had to work.
So you was going hard in the paint.
I sure was. It was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a show that it'll catch up on you. So being that everything is so new for you, and then we want to start this thing off with, if you're in the comments or if you're watching, say what's up to us. And our first question is going to be, what was your most standout moment from the past episode? So leave it in the comments, your most standout moment. But Margot, since you kind of just been watching, everything, like what is it like to binge watch it all together and then catch up to where we are now?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I feel like my emotions are everywhere because I just watched them back to back to back. Like I had opinions and I felt like I understood why like certain characters like Juliet did what they did. And then now I'm just like, girl, you're a Jimmy Neutron. Like it's just you're creating all of these problems. Like
coming to my lair.
let me do my layer. Like you're making all these amazing gadgets and these things, but they're putting everybody at risk, or you're doing these things to get answers, but it's putting everybody at risk. And it made me actually think about, not to bring up From again, but it made me think about what we talk about in From, like in the last few episodes when we were talking about, like, does everybody deserve to know the truth? And if they do know the truth, why are they withholding it? So it kind of had that same premise with Silo once I finished the first season. Like when I saw all those dead bodies and she went into Silo number 17, I was like, no. And then when Solo said, oh yeah, there are 50, I was like,
yeah, it blew your mind. So
50?
and if you're just now joining, I want everybody in the comments to tell us what was your standout moment from the past episodes. And we see Luna Cascade is in the house, one of our members of the channel.
Of our cult.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you for joining us, Luna Cascade. It's always a pleasure. And we actually pinned
we got Dr. Deb in the house too. Hey, Dr. Deb.
What's up? What's up? Where's Dr. Deb at? Okay. That's awesome. So favorite moments, guys, from the past episode. What was yours, Margot? Well, Candace, go ahead. You go first. Favorite moment.
There were so many. This episode was so good. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go all out of order. But when is it Bridget? Our mechanicals, our animal mechanicals, our mechanical people from the mechanicals, right? And they took that. I know. Every time I think of mechanical, Jam used to watch Animal Mechanicals, and that's what comes in my head. But they had that that rope or that pulley system.
Yes.
And they jumped off the side.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, what? And then
that was so gangster.
That was so, I don't know if I could have did it. I don't know if I could have did it. I would have been like, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait.
Absolutely crazy.
Another one was there's so many. When Solo had his like
breakdown
man fit, like his ego was like hurt. Like, ladies, we know that the man fit is like,
what you trying to say? And then, like I said, if you guys just tune in, we want to hear from you as the audience. Leave a comment. What was your favorite part from the last episode?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have to talk about Sir Mormont when he stood up to the doctor and was like, you've taken everything from me, dude. Like, I'm not doing this for you. I had nothing else to live for. I'm trying to get back my dignity by helping these people in the silo. I done pretty much took away everybody's thought that they could possibly have a baby. And he was just like, you could tell he was just like fed up. He was like up to here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, Bernard, after the silo has taken everything from Dr. Jorah Mormont, and then you're gonna still try to manipulate him?
And
You're like,
that's what
oh, I
makes
know
me
you
so
as a
insidious.
fellow great citizen of the silo. I was like, are
He
you
really
crazy?
thought that was gonna work. He really thought that that was gonna work. And that's how insidious he is. Like, he is so up the silos crack that he just really thought that this was what matters to him
Yeah.
as well. He thinks everybody thinks the way he does.
Which is crazy. And then it looks like we got Dr. Deb. And if you haven't liked the video real quick, if you haven't liked it, Steve Zan's acting in the scene was incredible, and I concur. Two best moments are Solo's reaction and Dr. Nichols' monologue. Absolutely
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that monologue was absolutely amazing. Margo, what was yours?
I want to piggyback off of Solo's reaction, because when I was watching that, I was like, now Juliet, because she's always a bulldozer, right? She's a bulldog. She goes after everybody. She goes after what she wants. She gets her answers whether she likes it or not. That's how she is. And she finally met somebody that was going to do something to her in front of her face. And she realized, okay, I crossed the line over here. I probably shouldn't have done it that way. If you were going to approach him about his fake identity, that was crazy.
She hasn't had
Favorite-
very many interactions with men, because you
Yeah.
don't do that.
You don't
You don't do
Especially
that.
since y'all
Especially
two.
man you just met. You don't do that. That's dangerous, girl.
My
Yeah.
gosh. I
I'm
would
sorry,
say I
go
don't know about my favorite moment, but I think the funniest moment for me was when Common was doing his little monologue to the people
Oh,
up top. And when I tell y'all, I need my hands. He was like, the people of the silo. Doing this all the time. I was like, sir, you doing the
I was ready for him to start rapping.
Bro, every time I see him on screen, I just think about how he's a rapper. Like, that's how I
Yeah.
first met him.
Yeah.
But he's definitely doing his thing. Luna
Yes.
Cascade, go ahead and read that, Candace.
Faves, the jump from floor to floor. My heart jumped. Dude hiding out told the sheriff, I'm going to tell you what you want to know and what some you don't want to know. What?
That was my shit right there, Luna.
Your
Look,
line.
Please tell me, Mr. Patrick, what do we need to know?
yes, and
What
then,
do we need
so
to
that
know?
was going to be one of mine, and then I'm gonna go with another one. Bernard making old boy go through the relic for him.
That was diabolical.
And the thing is, it's like, this dude Bernard is really just putting on full display all of his fucking character flaws, because this dude is down in the dumps,
below the dumps
working, and he's like, I'm gonna call you up and allow you to do some work for me, and your work would give you a couple hours with me, and that's it.
Some
you gotta
respite.
go back down. And I'm like, bro, are you crazy? But this is the thing, and somebody brought this up to me, because in our video I said, why would he be honest and tell Bernard everything he sees on that relic? And somebody brought something up interesting, and they were saying that maybe Bernard really does know what's on there, but Bernard is trying to get someone else now to mentor, to possibly be his shadow, because he got rid of Sim's ass. He killed Judge Meadows, right? So he needs a shadow, and maybe he's testing, what's his name?
Kyle Lucas.
Maybe he's testing Kyle Lucas by giving him those assignments, making him think that he doesn't know the things that he's discovering on the relic, when he really does, to see if he's being honest and transparent, because he needs another fucking shadow. What do y'all think about that? I thought that was an interesting comment that somebody put on a video.
That makes sense, because like, didn't the mayor send Sims out to go get that guy who had the ponytail, who said that fire comment, I'm gonna tell you some things you don't want to know? Like, Sims didn't do that on his own. I think the mayor was like, go find those two people that helped Juliet, right? And so the mayor would know that those two people that helped Juliet, they're the ones that uploaded the video of cleaning to the control room.
Mhm.
So I think you're right about that, because why didn't he just tell Sims, yo Sims, give me that dude with the ponytail and tell him to tell me what was on that relic?
Exactly.
Because he was right there. He told Sims to go take care of him. So I think that would make sense, because if I was watching that and I was like, well, why don't he just get the ponytail guy again and be like, yo, what was on the relic, and then we'll give you the drug to like make your mind forget everything.
Yeah, because I was so hard pressed to believe that Bernard doesn't know certain things that they were discovering, like Bernard not knowing that there's a tunnel at the end of the silo, Bernard not knowing that there's wires that appear to be electrical that allows the vault and stuff like that, and IT to have independent access to electricity from the rest of the silo. And I'm like, how would Bernard not know those things? And I thought that that was an interesting point in that comment when they were like, I think that might have been Luna Cascade too, where they was like, they think that Bernard does know those things, but he's subconsciously testing. Oh boy, because he needs another shadow, and he needs a shadow to be intelligent, right? And he's proven that he is intelligent because he has been going through he can access those relics and get that information.
And I feel like both of his shadows are on the opposite side, right? Like Meadows was super intelligent, almost too much for her own good, to where she realized this is a clusterfuck and I need to get my suit and get out. Don't come talk to me unless you have my suit. Come correct with my suit.
Bro.
Okay.
That's how Meadows was on it. And then you have somebody like
Meadows.
I know. And then you have somebody like Sims, who he's gonna be, the bulldog, he's gonna take orders, but that wife is right
Lady
here
Macbeth?
now.
Lady Macbeth?
Lady Macbeth. Cersei Lannister, okay? They all right up here with
Elena
the ear.
Tyrell.
Yes.
Marjorie Tyrell.
Marjorie Tyrell.
She is on it. And then
Talking to
let's read that
Renly.
comment real. She is on it for real. Read that
So
comment.
Dr. Deb says, I agree. He is testing him to potentially make him his shadow. Bernard feels more comfortable having something to hold over people to close to him with Lucas, constant threat to turn to the mind.
I agree. And then also too, the fact that if he does promote him, oh boy would be forever in his graces. Forever. Think about that. Like you have promoted me all the way up. So now I am forever going to be indebted to you for doing that for me. You know what I'm saying? Which would be really, really interesting. And then like speaking of old boy's wife, I thought that was interesting that she saved the she didn't let the mob kill the
mechanicals.
Yeah.
What's it used against Bernard? Yeah, Luna, you're exactly right. This comment right here, I peeped that too. I'm like, she don't care about her man being up top. She wants both of them to rule the silo together. She don't care about no order. She don't care about nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
At the top.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Like really, really good stuff.
So here's another question I want to pose to the group. Should we talk about theories? Is it too early to talk about theories?
Let's say that what question you had.
Well, I was going to ask, what are some of the theories or what are your theories about the mysterious tunnels and hidden relics Bernard found?
Yeah, so what are you guys' theories about that? Leave it in the comments. Why do you think they had these tunnels in the silos? Where do you think these tunnels go to? And leave it in the comments. What are you guys' thoughts on that? And that's a question to anybody who wants to try to step up and answer that. What do you?
I think those tunnels lead to other silos.
Exactly.
And I think that's how Juliet's gonna get back. I think those tunnels lead to other silos. I think that this whole thing is, I don't want to say an experiment, but I feel like it kind of is, like just going off of everything that I've read, some of my pattern recognition. I really think that this might be some type of some type of experiment or research study, kind of trying to see, in the future, if we do go to nuclear war, what's going to happen. Like, I don't know, maybe, but I definitely think those tunnels lead to the other silos. They're connected.
I agree. And then Ty Briggs says that's why Bernard knew his wife was helping Sims, because his moves were too smart to do on his own. Exactly.
Yeah, and with that too, like when they had to kill off Meadows, like Sims was dumb when he revealed, like right before he did the whole impeachment thing, and him and Bernard were walking, and he was like, "Oh well, can you talk to Sims? Because I know you've been talking to her."
Surely.
I'm like, you just showed your whole hand.
Right.
Like, how are you gonna let the main man know that he's talking to Meadows? And then he was like, "Oh, like he knows that I'm the one who started the impeachment." Of course, because you let him know that you knew about him and Meadows and that you're jealous about being the shadow. So anyway.
Exactly. And then Luna Cascade posed a question to us. They said, well, question to you: if you were Bernard, what would you do? That's a good question, because I'm still trying to figure out what is Bernard really trying to accomplish here.
And it's like we said before, like, why not just tell people it is not what you think it is outside?
Yeah, it's dangerous.
This is dangerous.
Yeah, why give people that acts to clean that fake facade in the mask so they go outside thinking that it is safe outside? Because that's what's causing the uproar. Like, why not? And that's a good question. That's to you guys that are also watching. Why not just tell the people the damn truth? Because if I knew that if I stepped outside I would die, I wouldn't want to go fucking outside. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's the fact that they make it so mysterious that it makes people curious. It makes motherfuckers curious. Where if I told you what it was and showed you what it was, then you wouldn't want to freaking leave the silo. And then as it relates to what was our question? Where do the tunnels probably lead? I think they do lead to other silos, but the question would be why though, and who has access, and why do they get to go across, and who would be going across? Because it couldn't be. Think about it. It couldn't be nobody from up top, because everybody wouldn't recognize if somebody from up all the way up top came down and then they went to a tunnel. Like, how would they sneak and go to the tunnel? So you would think that the tunnel would be access for VIPs, but then it would cause too much of a commotion to let the damn VIPs, because they just think about it. You got to come all the way down the silo. There's no elevators and shit. You got to walk all the way down, coming through all these different levels. They got to go downstairs to the bottom basement, and then people are going to see you go through this tunnel. So, like, who actually uses the fucking tunnel? Because you would
shoot, it's got me thinking maybe they do have an elevator.
Because if you was gonna have a tunnel for the VIPs to go back and forth, the shit would be higher up, you would think, where they would have to go down levels and everybody see them.
Because I was originally thinking maybe IT would need to, but then again, it's like your theory, you'd have to go from all the way up there, and it just doesn't. It's not feasible, really. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of that would be.
Well, it could probably be, if we're thinking back Game of Thrones times, right? Think when Maegor the Cruel made the what am I? Where they all live. Where do they all live?
The Red Keep.
The Red Keep.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, in House of in Game of Thrones, Maegor the Cruel made the Red Keep. And remember, he made all those tunnels because he was the one who wanted to be able to go into these different rooms and do all this type of stuff and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then after the tunnels that connected to all those rooms were made, he killed everybody that knew about them. So maybe the higher ups, the powers that be, want to be able to use these tunnels so that they can check in on the silos from time to time, or so that if they're in one silo, they'll know an scapegoat. But I think whoever created the silos created those tunnels. And we think about in history too, right? Most castles have hidden tunnels.
Yes.
Most cathedrals have hidden tunnels.
The White House.
And so the White House, right? And so you can escape, and only the people who created that architecture will know about it. So I think them hinting at, oh, what is that? It's a tunnel. Bernard doesn't know that, even though he is the person that's in charge and knows the order. Why? He's not the top guy. There's somebody else topper than him, because then he would know about them tunnels.
Right.
Yeah. Because I was thinking that, or it goes back to he's faking the funk and acting like he don't know. But then once again, though, if that shit is for the VIPs, they got to go all the way down there. Look, and we saw how long it takes to go all the way to the bottom of the silos. And because if it was for the VIPs, that you would think the tunnel would be higher up. So I'm curious to know who the hell that tunnel is for.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Dr. Deb says hiding the truth makes me wonder as well if this is a contrived situation. catastrophic event? I think so, Dr. Deb. I think so. I think this is just one big experiment so they can say, okay, release the nukes. We can do this. Like
Mm.
it's just to me, I don't know what would be the point.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely interesting because even with the other silo people when they escape, they
Mhm.
was able to walk around for a little bit, and it wasn't until the wind started blowing, and I guess the dust settlements of whatever makes the outside
The
world dangerous.
fallout.
Yeah,
Fallout.
kind of got him and killed him.
So Luna Cascade says, would you tell people who might panic or rebel and try to run things differently in a more dangerous way? Dangerous. Why? Should Boyd and From tell everyone the truth about everything? I don't,
I think it's too deep because they've been in the silo for 150 something years. So they've already brainwashed
have
people,
they?
telling them yeah, they
Well,
that's what he said.
that I don't know. Maybe
Well, we
some-
know at least 40 because the mayor was a mayor for 40 years. And then and then he was doing the numbers, and it was some type of thing, but they've been there for a long time, and it has to be more than 3 generations because the woman who was the white-haired lady who was like one of the fire hearts or whatever.
let me see. What's
You know what
her
I'm talking about? The
name?
auntie
Yeah. Martha.
Martha, thank you. Martha was talking about her mother's mother came from a lineage of people that had these, code red relics from the outside world. So if we're talking about 3 generations, it's got to be at least 100 years.
Yeah.
So they've been brainwashing these people for 100 years just for them to say tomorrow, hey, so we actually know what happened, or they say, oh, we found this thing that discovers the whole identity is going to be messed up. Like they've already built this as it is now. And From with Boyd, they haven't been there for 50 something years. So Boyd can be like, hey, this is all the information that we found. This is what we collected. We're going to have a committee. Committee's going to represent these people. Y'all are going to get to know what happened. Da, 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 da. We come together as a town. I think it's 2 different situations and 2 different organizations.
Right.
But you see, that's the thing that had pissed me off about From, that I always felt that people didn't communicate. And we posed that question, and I'm going to be working on a From video over my break that's going to blow y'all minds. But it's going to blow y'all minds.
We're back.
Yeah, I'm doing one more From video, and I'm, because but anyway, but with Boyd though, right? I felt like it maybe at some point it could be too much information in the situation that they were in. But I always had that moral question and dilemma as to who has a right to gatekeep information in Fromville. Like, for example, I don't think Boyd ever told anybody he saw a lighthouse. I don't think half the town knows that they killed a monster. Just there's a lot of things that they didn't share. I think the difference between like From and Silo is that showing the truth actually, I feel like in a silo would help. Just like the comment somebody had up and they said, why not let people go and clean?
Yeah.
Give them a good suit so that they're protected. Don't put that fake shit in a mask and let them go out there and clean. Like, yeah, man, it's fucked up out here. And let them come back in the tunnel and share with everybody. It's fucked up out there. We don't want to go out there.
Yeah.
That would keep everything, what I'm saying, in line, so to speak.
Yeah, but then think about it. Then what's the reaction to that? Which is the speech, how Bernard had to switch that speech where he was like, hey, with this tape, we're now at the first step to finally getting out of here. So when people actually see how it is out there, which they technically do in the cafeteria, that's real. It shows you what's out there. It's dead, wasteland in the cafeteria. People are going to be like, oh, let's do this. Let's invent. Let's figure out something. But then if it's, as Candace said, if this is an experiment, you don't want people inventing things. You don't want people trying to help society get back outside. You don't want people figuring out how to make the earth clean again so that we can be out. So if it makes sense to support that theory that this must be an experiment or some type of end all be all, because I think you're right. If this was a catastrophic, like in Earth Abides, everybody's going to want to come together and figure this thing out. But because there's a booklet called The Order and there are people that are in charge and there are shadows and all of these other things, then in the fact that it doesn't even say in the order, if you're about to get taken over, tell them the truth. We know it doesn't say that because Silo 17.
Yeah.
Over 10,000 people died. They followed the order to the T.
Mm-hmm.
So if they follow the order to the T, then it should have said something like, if the people are going to run you over, just tell them the truth. It doesn't say that because they
Yes.
don't want us to know the truth.
And then, guys, if you're watching, please like the video while you're watching and leave a comment below or a question so that we can try to answer it for you guys. The next question I want to ask you guys is, do you think Juliet's father will play a big role in the story moving forward? And how might he impact her fight? And then how do you think he's going to impact with the silo? I have an idea. We talked about it in our video about the dude that was injured down below and
Patrick, is it Patrick Kennedy? Wait.
yeah,
I think it's Patrick Kennedy.
Because we saw
Man
that
bun.
her father, and then audience, we want to hear from you too. We saw that her father is very now more sympathetic to the cause, particularly because he was insulted by Bernard by him dangling shit that belonged to his daughter in front of his face and like, help me quell what's going on. And we saw Patrick, what's his name? Kennedy downstairs in a bad condition. I could see the doctor being instrumental in getting him back together because the dude said, I know some shit. So now that's more information that can get shared. So I think
that's more dangerous than having, well, I won't say it's more dangerous, but having the people up top, have sparking some type of rebellion with having access to more information, that's really even more dangerous for Bernard in keeping things quelled and under control.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's look at another question. I want to before our batteries run out.
No, we're still good. I'll let you know. And then Lakeisha says, speaking of Earth to Buys, I rewatched the last episode. And guys, we're going live about Earth to Buys tomorrow. If you want to join us, remember when Ish found the mute little girl? He hit a baby lion with his car. Was that the mom?
Oh man.
Talking about the baby, the mom lion was pissed off, like, hey, I need to see about you, cuz. You never know.
Yeah. That's kind of messed up. Okay. What do you think the real purpose of the silo is? We kind of already talked about that, but let's do you think Sims truly believes in the system, or is he just playing a role to survive? No, for me, I think Sims has completely drank the Kool-Aid.
No, I think Sims is just interested in power. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, it's like any society, really. The only thing that you have that you can look forward to in that silo is being the one that's on top, being the most powerful one and, having the most access and the most resources and the most luxurious house and lifestyle and things like that. So that's kind of what I think is going on with him. Let's talk about Silo a little bit. Not Silo, Solo. What the hell do y'all think about Solo's ass? And then, guys, in the comments, we need to hear from y'all. What do y'all think about Solo? Because he showed his ass the last episode, but then he also showed that this Joker is not who he says he is at all. What do y'all think about Solo?
Like why? And
why what?
Remember when I said that, Solo kind of acts childlike? Remember that?
Yeah, like Victor from.
Right. So, I mean, you ever had seen a kid, had a kid like, come and sit by me and watch me do this, and you're trying to teach a kid something, and they pick it up and they're like, okay, I'm the big boss person. That's the vibe I get from Solo. Like he watched somebody be a shadow, or he watched, and now he, in his mind, this is his job. There's some arrested development there, and he just thinks that is his job, or maybe something traumatic got attached to it. I don't know, but that was a big reaction to have from getting caught in caught in your lie, basically. Like, this, you're not who you say you are.
What did you think about that, Margot?
Yeah, I guess they were giving us hints about Solo, because the first hint I was like, oh, this is weird, was when Bernard was talking to Meadows and he was telling her how Juliet went over to Silo 17. And then Bernard was like, oh, well, that silo has been gone even since before the rebellion.
How did he know that?
So they probably know. like they probably know everything about other silos. And so there has to be some connection, because if IT can do all of that, they can be talking to other people within silos. So I'm thinking, and the rebellion was almost what, like 20 something years ago. So based on the reunion of the rebellion that they had in the first few episodes, so that means, and then that was the first thing I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. And then we finally see Silo, and I'm like, oh, he looks almost younger than Bernard. How was he a shadow 20 years ago and he looks younger than Bernard right now? I thought
Exactly.
that was interesting. And then the third, which I think most of us picked up on when Juliet called it out, was like, well, how did this little girl sit next to you in class? This is a level B class. How would she sit next to you? That don't make no sense.
Exactly.
So it was just like, I knew he was kind of childlike, like when he was playing the piano and talking about the air and the elephants and some of his mannerisms. It's like his brain like wasn't fully, at the same level when it comes to his age. I think they were dropping those hints. I think they did it pretty well, but yeah, Solo, Solo, I don't know about him. Like, why don't you just trust Juliet fully, or kind of like what you said? Why did he take on this other Solo's identity? Like, what did he accidentally kill him? And is it a reaction to killing him? Like, did the real Solo be like, you have to pretend to be me and always be the shadow, because otherwise something will happen to you? I have no idea.
That's crazy. Let's get to some of the comments. Ty Briggs says Solo was jealous of the real Solo. Very possible. Keisha, I think Solo is going to help Juliet with meds, but he might also destroy her suit to keep her there to help him drain the water from the silo. Damn, that would be crazy. The thing that I was wondering, because he's got to tend to her and she's in a bad condition and she's probably going to need antibiotics and all of that. Do you think he's going to bring her into the silo? I'm not the silo, into the vault. Because where else you going to care for her? You can't lay her on the floor outside the vault and care for her, because I've always wondered where's she going to get a chance to get in there. So, and I agree with you that she's going to have to get those meds, and that would be pretty fucked up if he does do that, but that wouldn't surprise me. And then Luna Cascade said,
if they drain the silo, they won't need the suit, right?
No, the suit is for going
technically because they can go in the tunnels.
Right.
Yeah, to go
but
back.
I mean,
Yeah.
the tunnels. I was thinking about the tunnels, but yeah, okay.
No, that's a good point. What you're saying. Solo has convinced himself he is Solo. Remember, Juliet asked him how he sat by that little girl in class. I think he's confused. Exactly. And then Dr. Dev said, I love Solo. I don't believe he is nefarious despite his outbursts. That was more of his core identity being threatened versus anger. Very possible. Kind of like he acted just like how Victor does when you kind of challenge Victor sometimes. Well, tell me more. I don't know. I can't fucking now. Like that's exactly how Victor be. Dr. Deb, yes, agreed. Luna, his entire purpose is wrapped up in that identity. Yeah, right. Possibly a fake identity. Luke Solo was a kid when the rebellion happened, and Silo said he was.
Yeah.
Yes, Luna, and then let's get a couple more. Solo got some bodies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he didn't explain those two bodies that were, as Juliet says, the two bodies that were a little bit fresher than the other ones. What happened to those?
I saw somebody say something interesting, and I liked it. They said, what if that was the real Solo and his girl? Because you remember they showed Solo that picture, and it was like, what if somehow he got into the vault, kicked the real Solo ass out, and was like, I'm Solo now, But I thought that was an interesting comment that I saw somewhere. Still, he was a smart, traumatized kid.
Oh, he's a genius. Like,
Sensei said, what up? Yeah.
Sensei.
Go ahead, Margot.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, he's a genius just because even when Juliet tries to ride him off, like she thinks he's just ranting, it's like, no, it might be 80%, 20%, but that 20% is gonna change your life. Yeah. Like what he's saying.
Yeah. I can't wait to learn more about him and see what kind of happens. Let's click on a few more questions. Comment. Whoever stole the helmet and hid it under the bed is really bad at hiding.
It went over, but somebody had a really good comment that they think that Solo's story that he said was reversed.
Let's go back.
Where maybe he was Randall's son that actually gave Solo the name. That was a good comment.
Yes, very, very good comment. And then let's click on a couple more. Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with his person and his character, because it's definitely something going on with him. Let's see.
In order for Juliet to stop the flood, Solo will have to let her stop it.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, what would be the point of keeping? I mean, eh, yeah.
But the point is, do y'all think that she's gonna help with the flood so she can actually use the tunnel? Because does she know that there's a tunnel? Does Julie know?
She saw the relic, right?
She did see the relic.
She
I don't.
saw it, but she probably
Mhm.
didn't know what she was looking at.
Right. But she did ask him, how did it flood? So
Mm.
she did ask him that, so that can give her some ideas on how to potentially fix it. And she might connect that if this is silo 817, then she was in the one closest 18, and that someone had this comment that the water in her silo is a result of the flooding from silo 17.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
No, that could be pretty interesting. If maybe that's a way that if they could tell one silo is about to get too buck wild, they
They
eliminate
flesh
the
it
other.
out.
Yeah,
They
they
flushed it
eliminate
out.
the other one. And before we I want to talk about this question up here real quick, and then we're getting ready to wrap it up. But if you haven't, go ahead and like the video real quick. Go over and like the video. If you guys have enjoyed anything we've done in this video, any of our From content, any of our Earth the Bias content, we are a small channel. Please consider subscribing. Please consider being a member. Please consider sending us a super chat to say thank you. We get off a long day at work and we jump on here to talk to y'all. So any support would help. I like this question, and y'all help us answer this too. She said, she at least knows. Okay, oh, you changed it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Patrick.
I started the question.
Okay, my bad.
But she's they said, do y'all understand exactly what Bernard had in mind for Doc Nicholas? What did he want him to do to help quell things? That's a good question, because we didn't get a chance to when they posed it.
Mhm.
The thing I think is that he wants him to somehow, with him being, and this is my opinion, y'all tell me what y'all think, with him being her father, he symbolically kind of represents her as well. So if he was to say something to the people like, hey, my daughter was wrong for what she did, or
Mhm.
my daughter wanted to make the sacrifice, she would never want to see the silo do this. He could be a what do you call that? Like, not a voice of reason, but
I know what you're talking about, but the word is
he could use,
escaping me.
he could use him to kind of be the voice. He's the one voice that the people might listen to. People ain't
Mhm.
trying to hear Bernard. People ain't trying to hear Sim. They ain't trying to hear nobody. But
Somebody part of the community.
yeah, they would be more likely to listen to him. And I'm trying to think of like what that term is called,
I
where you
can't
get
And
remember.
Uncle Tom. No, I'm
No.
said Uncle Tom. Yeah, but essentially somebody that would be comfortable, that people would actually listen to, because he is so close. Because we saw how much people cherished Juliet's belongings in the silo. Like, dude was trying to bargain. Like, if you have a relic of her, you have something. People just want something to be attached to Julie. So here you have this guy who's her father. He could easily tell the people, "Hey guys, calm down. That's not what Julie would want," or whatever, and they would probably listen.
Yeah, I
What do
think
y'all
that's why he was like, "Oh, I'm so glad that you're such a great model citizen of the silo," because
Mhm.
Juliet represents rebellion.
Yep.
Right? That's what she
Right.
represents. That's why people want things of hers, because it gives
Uh-huh.
them hope against, the silo to potentially go out into
Use
this
the
paradise that they
yeah.
believe that is being held from them. And so if they see her father doing the opposite, right? He's a doctor, he's doing what the silo is telling him, he's a model citizen, then that kind of skews Juliet as like a takes the martyrness away from her almost, because right
It's
now
kinda
she's like
like
a
what
martyr.
Cersei tried to do with, Sansa. Like,
Exactly.
write your brother Rob, tell him to stop the kinda like, yeah.
And I like what Luna Cascade said. Bernard wanted Dr. Nicholas to help call the calm down the folks. Bernard wanted to use him as propaganda, which and
Mhm.
that's the word I was looking for.
Propaganda, yes.
Propaganda.
Yeah, he wanted to use him as propaganda to calm shit
Use
down.
the person closest to her
Yep.
to squash any rebellion.
Yep.
So doubt.
For him to be the voice that Bernard can't be that voice right
Mhm.
now. That's a really good point. And then
Mhm.
let's get one more.
I will say this though, in that episode where he made that speech, he sure did turn that thing around with that tape. I was like, dang, this man is good at politics, like Meadow said, because he
Mhm.
sure did turn it around.
And then someone asked, how do you join our thing? If you, I'm trying to think, if you go to our description of our last 2 or 3 videos, there's a link in there about there's a link in there. Candace, can you copy and paste the link? Your computer died. Let me try to do it. But go ahead and ask that final question, Candace, and I'm gonna put the link in the chat for y'all. So the final question is going to be it was something like moving forward, the craziest theory that we think moving forward, or the craziest thing that we're looking forward to see the next episode.
Okay.
I think that was a question.
Yeah. Looking ahead, what's your boldest predictions for the next episode or the series as a whole?
Boldest prediction. Yep, that's it. What is your boldest prediction moving forward with the show? What are you thinking we might see in the next episode?
I think that I think we're possibly gonna see maybe a little bit of a backstory with Solo. I'm hoping to kind of help Juliet understand what was going on there and what was going on with him. I hope that we see them find out more about the outside energy sources and how they were able to maintain that and who had control over it. And I want to learn more about this tunnel.
I like it.
These tunnels.
And then guys, I just put the link in the chat, not in the chat, but in the video. Join the channel. I saw a couple people say how can they join and be a member. I just put a link in there. Look who we got. Lakeisha Moore, appreciate you.
Welcome.
Became a new YouTube member. Let's give her some love.
Welcome to the wall.
Hey. Welcome.
So we're not doing Severance, but we are planning on doing Yellow Jackets.
Okay. Yeah. Yellow,
yeah.
because Candace loves Yellow Jackets. And then over the break, I might try to binge watch Severance to catch up to see what's going on. And then Margo, what are you looking forward to? Because my battery is trying to die too. I'm at 10%. But what are you looking forward to, Margo?
I will say boldest predictions. I think it's gonna be like a Hunger Games moment to where like the people who are just kind of pawns at the beginning of the story end up taking over at the end of the story, but then creating their own type of order, structure, system type thing. I think something like that might happen at the end of this season, because we like 5 episodes is a lot if they're going to do 10 like they did last season. That's a lot of hours. 5 hours is a lot. So I think she's gonna get back to Silo 18. She's gonna tell everybody what's up. I think she's also gonna get in that vault to where she's gonna see the order, and she might read that entire thing because we know that she sped read the pact when she became a sheriff. So she might speed read the order, come back and try to rally her mechanical people and like the oppressed and lesser than people to take over, and this might become its own independent silo out of the rest of them. That's my boldest prediction.
I like that. I'm trying to think what mine is gonna be. I don't know, man. Like I don't know how I feel just yet, because I'm curious to see what the hell Julie's gonna do. Is she actually gonna get over there? Because I don't fully trust Silo. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna hurt her, but would he sabotage her being able to kind of go over there? Okay, I'm curious to know if Bernard really knows what's going on and if he's playing old boy and he's setting him up to be his new shadow. That's what I want to know. And it's something more simple. I know that's kind of simple, but I just feel like Bernard needs somebody in his corner because he's a paranoid motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And we saw that
right now, right?
Yeah, because we saw that when he went in Sim's house and they're acting like he making coffee. Why the fuck were you in these folks' house like that? And it was because he wanted them to know, I know what's going on. And I think that he needs somebody to support him, but he needs this person to be an outsider. He can't go pull from within anymore. So that's kind of what I'm curious to see. And leave it in the comments, guys. What are y'all curious to see? We want to hear from y'all really quickly. Throw it in the comments what you guys want to see. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Go over and like the video real quick if you haven't done so. Let's click on some of these things. Let's see. Dr. Deb says, I think Juliet may wake up in the vault where Solo takes care of her. Yes, that's what I was hoping. And because imagine what she might be able to learn when she's in there. Imagine. Can you just imagine? Luna Cascade production for season ending. Juliet will get into the vault, discover how to communicate and travel the tunnels. Fill out rebellion in Solo 18. Full panic of Bernard will try to stop them.
That was a good prediction. I like that.
I like that. Nakisha said, what happens? Juliet gets back and opens the door. Will it poison the air in Silo 18? I can't imagine you just open the door from the outside. That's a good point. That's a good point. Can't keyword anything on this damn. I guess he's trying to
on the cell phone.
I think Juliet will finally put 2 and 2 together about the tunnel, fix the pump on level 30 for Solo, then use the tunnel to return. I like that because that would be the easiest way. Because any other way that she gets to the tunnel, I mean, any other way that she gets to the silo, she walks back over there, even with a great suit. They're not gonna let her ass in it because the powers that be would see her and be like, kill that bitch. You know what I'm saying? They're not about to let her come, but she could sneak in the tunnel, which is probably what would I want to know what's in that vault. And then Nakisha said, I bet Sim's son is tired of white people just popping up there. Oh my God. You crazy, Nakisha.
He said, I want that woman to clean, Daddy. I don't want to ever see her again.
I'm like, because that was so funny. He's like, Daddy, what? I'm in here talking. There's a man in our kitchen. That shit was creepy as hell. But yo, we want to thank y'all for joining us. So much fun. We love getting on here, having the lives with you guys. And if you haven't, please go ahead and like the video. If you haven't liked the video, we're on Instagram and IG. We're on Instagram. TikTok. And we're also on TikTok, but goddamn, are they about to get rid of TikTok? and we need to
do a VPN and pretend like we're in Canada.
I mean, because our TikTok is doing pretty well. I'm like, God damn it, that we actually doing good on the platform, and then they trying to cancel it
without dancing.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
dancing that part.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but join us tomorrow, guys. We'll be talking about Earth Abides. I'm excited about that. Are you gonna join us tomorrow again, Margot?
Yes.
Okay, would that be your first Earth Abides, Margot?
Second one. I think I did the last one
tonight.
Yeah, the first Silo.
And hopefully Carter will join us because he was supposed to join us on Silo tonight, but he was saying that he didn't get a chance to finish watching. I said, well, you should have watched our review of it.
Oh my God.
But he's looking forward to joining us for Earth Abides tomorrow because he has some strong ass thoughts about Earth Abides. And I was like, you know, Carter always got some strong shit to say.
I'm excited to hear it.
But thank you, Margot, for joining us, and thank y'all for tuning in.
Nakisha for joining us. That was great. Thank you so much.
Thank y'll so much.
Thank you,
we enjoyed being.
Everybody.
What if they can't? Yeah, it's very possible. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next video because our watch has ended.
Bye-bye.
Thank y'all.